Hello and welcome to another planning appeal case study video. I'm John Peters, and in this video I'm going to explain how we overcame a recent refusal by Fenland Council for one of our clients. This planning appeal was to overcome the refusal for a dormer roof extension, including raising the roof height of a garage and single-storey element that was refused by the local planning authority, Fenland Planning Department. Our client was initially booked in for a free, no obligation consultation to run through the refusal reasons that have been used by Fenland Council to evaluate if an appeal was viable or if an alternative option would be best suited. The free, no obligation consultation, which took around 15 minutes, found that this case was viable to appeal and to the Planning Inspectorate, taking the decision process away from Fenland Council Planning Department. This case was refused by Fenland Council for the following reasons. The proposed increase in the height of the garage and single-storey link would result in the ridge height of the single-storey front projection exceeding the eaves height of the main dwelling, creating a significant mass to the front of the dwelling. The development would therefore result in a prominent and incongruous feature within the street scene to the detriment of the character appearance of the area, and therefore would be contrary to the aforementioned policies. The planning inspector in this case identified the main reason for this case was that the effect of the proposed development on the street scene and the character and appearance of the area. The inspector stated the following in the appeal decision. The link part would have a ridge joining the front slope of the main roof of the house, a little away above the eaves. The loft conversion would create additional living accommodation in both parts. I've considered all other matters raised, including comments from neighbours. These appear to primarily relate to decision taking at earlier stages when the house was number 1 May Meadows was first approved. The only implications for neighbours relate to the raising of the ridge and eaves heights. There are reasonable small increases within the roof pitches away from that property, and there is a gap between two dwellings. I consider that there would be no significant additional impact on amenity of the neighbour. In respect of the proposed dormer windows, these would be hidden from neighbours. Many of you who have similar refusals are repeatedly stating you've had little or no correspondence throughout the application process, and the first thing you knew was receiving a refusal notice from the council, and in some cases when you receive a letter from ourselves. We completely understand that the planning process can be very frustrating, the costs involved, the time it takes, and so on. But do remember, we deal with this on a daily basis for others just like yourself. With Planning Appeals Experience Matters and our specialist team who handle over 2.5% of all planning appeals in England and Wales that are currently produced and submitted, start by producing a comprehensive and robust appeal statement. That in this specific case covered 19 pages, just over 4,800 words. It's important to detail in the appeal statement where the local authority failed in their assessment of the case and how, where possible, both local and national policies apply in favour of the appeal. Additionally, if possible, bringing in similar cases that the Planning Inspectorate found in favour of at appeal. Obviously, with the back catalogue we have of wins, we're able to use these cases and what the inspector said in them as additional argument to support the case we're working on. Once an appeal statement is completed, we send the document to our client asking them to check they're happy for us to submit the case. If we need to add any information to that, then the client may have forgotten to provide. It's done at this point, and then the case is submitted. It's vitally important that all documents and responses are submitted on time throughout the process, as failure to do so will result in the appeal not being successful, something we hear about often when people attempt an appeal for the first time. Always ensure you use a professional who has considerable experience of appeals. It is worth asking them for some recent successful planning appeal case studies like you find on our website. Due to the large number of cases we represent, we have a dedicated team that liaises with the Planning Inspectorate on a daily basis. For this appeal, an independent planning inspector from the Planning Inspectorate visited the site on the 12th of December, and we're pleased to confirm the appeal was upheld and the permission granted on the 3rd of January in a 2-page appeal decision notice. If you'd like to find out if we can help you with your planning appeal, complete our online form on our website www.planningappealsuk.com, and our new case support team will arrange for a free no obligation consultation with one of our planning appeal assessment professionals. Thank you for taking the time to watch this planning appeal case study video, and I look forward to producing another one very shortly. Bye for now.